Well, see if I can't put this door back together. It was an idea, just not a good one. Oh! There you guys are again, sneaking around. I'm glad you're back though, because we're putting this door back together. This 2-door back together with 4-door parts. It's gonna happen. Wasn't the best thing I could have done, but I did it on the other side. Just keep it equal. You don't want one side being nicer than the other. That's just not right. 57 Chevy, 2-door door fixed with 4-door parts. Yep, let's get busy, or at least see what happens. Welcome back, Junks Automotive. Jeez. Hey, here's the dealio. Dill pickle, dill, whatever. We're replacing this rusty Bondo piece of door with this less Bondo-y, less rusty piece of door. So what I'm gonna do is hopefully, let me show you, I'll get it set there in this corner, close as I can. I'll trim a little bit here to get it to come this way. We'll tack it into place, just a couple places, and then we'll zip cut it right through here and right through here, so it falls into place, right? In the plane, and get that tack welded on there. Then we'll flip it upside down and do the unfun part. Once we get all that done, get it all welded and cleaned up best we can, put it on the car, and hopefully by the end of the video, we'll put epoxy primer on all this here said area, hopefully. You know how my plans go. All right, let me get that tacked in there and I'll show you what's up. Oh, and I did just a little bit of spray black paint and some of that rust converter Rick Martin gave me. So I'm probably gonna I did fix this crack. Let me get my stuff. I got a couple little places to fix, like right there. I'm gonna show you how I weld that up without it going. The brass hammer. It could be a piece of brass sheet or copper. This is probably copper. And you're just gonna stick whatever edge will fit inside that groove really good, close as you can, right? And then weld it up. Because the weld won't stick to this, but it will conduct electricity. It will dissipate heat. And so that's this whole crack. This is all broke, all cracked through here. So all I did was got that and worked my way down through there. Got that filled in and ground down so it doesn't interfere with our skin. But on the inside, you'll see there's not gonna be much to grind, just a little tiniest little bit, because the welding is on the inside, just like I'm gonna do right there here in a second. And I might go ahead and do, I don't know if you can see it. You see it? Oh, there it is, right there, right? So we'll stick a piece of other stuff. I'll show you here in a bit, because we gotta fix that too. Yep. Well, I got that little spot took care of, and let me show you what it looks like on the outside. You can see that, where is it? Right there. There won't be too much to ground off, you know, and we might do some stuff on this underside once we get to that side, and I was gonna do that hole, but I don't think so, because, you know, it looks like I'm making a patch anyway, but I think I have something over there shaped like that. We'll cut that out, weld that in. Now I'm going to fix this right here. So I've got my piece of flattened out copper pipe, had that for a long time, and I'll stick it in there to see if I can see that moving around in there. So that'll be my backer to weld those little holes up. And it's helpful if this aluminum or brass or copper, or whatever you use, conducts electricity, obviously, but it'll help if it conducts it on the back side. It might be a little tough, and once we get a couple of tack welds, it'll do the thing, really. It helps immensely for stupid little holes like that. Now, I should cut that out, put a piece of sheet metal in there. And then I guess I'm partially lazy, but man, holes are, that's fine. It'll be fine. It's better than packing it full of Bondo. It'll be thicker than the original sheet metal by the time you're done. And anything that's really thin, believe me, it's gonna blow away, and you'll keep going, chasing it around till you get to solid metal, and then it's welded up. And you grind it smooth, and it's good. And soaky on the backside with Core 15 or whatever your choosing is. Well, got that piece tacked in. So went through and pushed underneath whatever I had to do to get everything lined up and flush. This is what I did the last weekend. So we'll go ahead, and what I'll do is now I will tack. I did get my rust holes done up. I'll tack next to this tack next to that tack and a tack all the way around. Then I'll go over here, do the same thing, and I might even crisscross jack in the box, whatever, right? Till I get one more, and then I'll go over here and jack in the box trick cross again, and that way we don't have a whole bunch of heat. Then I'll do that a couple times, take a break, go see the family, eat some pizza or something, come back out, do it again, and have patience, Mike. Have patience. I'm not patient. Let's see if it helps. Okay, so what I'm doing is just getting the 3 or 4 welds together, right, through the whole thing, and then I'm gonna grind it down. I'm just using this grinder, and I'm going, you know, until it just levels off. I'm just using that very end right there. I'm not going like that, because I found out, best I can tell, warp stuff like this. I used regular flapper discs. This one's got ones on the edge. They're awesome. So now I'll go through and do 3 or 4 more, grind those down, do 3 or 4 more, grind those down in between, you know, taking a little bit of break, I don't want to feel this be hot. And really, you know, we're gonna have filler across the whole thing, but I want to keep it as thin as I can, right? Trying to do a little bit better job each time I do this, because someday I might have a nice car I want to do that stuff too. Probably not.
You told me to go straight to hell, honey, I surely did. I remember the day that you left me. I remember the things that you said. You told me to go straight to hell, honey, I surely did. I started off with the drinking, whiskey, beer, and wine. Faster and faster I'm sinking. Slowly I'm losing my mind. I remember the day that you left me. I remember the things that you said. You told me to go straight to hell. Well, honey, I surely did. I'll get it. The next step I took was gambling. Started playing cards and throwing dice. The devil, he told me I was winning, till I lost everything of my life. I remember the day that you left me. I remember the things that you said. You told me to go straight to hell. Well, honey, I surely did. Started thinking about the girls I was dating. I took some of Satan's advice. Started going out with gals with a reputation. It turns out that naughty is nice. I remember the day that you left me. I remember the things that you said. You told me to go straight to hell. Well, honey, I surely did. I went to the church where we married. I climbed up where the big bell hung. I tied off my rope in a hurry. When I jumped, that big bell it rung. I remember the day that you left me. I remember the things that you said. You told me to go straight to hell. Well, honey, I surely did. Turn around. You told me to go straight to hell. Well, honey, I surely did.
Well, there you have it. It's not perfect. It's not horrible. It's better than I've done yet. That's my goal. I don't know that I would piece a door together for somebody else's car unless they were like, oh, I really don't care. I need a solid-ish door for my beater jalopy, then I'd be like, sure, I'll do it for you. Anybody else would be like, man, you need another door. You need to find another door. But of course I got to clean it up, and there you go. So maybe a little bit more welding, or do I? That's just it. I could weld this. It's a whole lot easier to fix. But there's a patch panel right over there if I want it, and I might. I don't know. We'll see. This is all still caved in. You know, a little bit of tin cannon going on here, but I think once you get this out, this dent, the other dents, do a little shrinking, it'll be fine. But yeah, we'll have to patchy roo that. I mean, it's probably close right there too, to be honest with you. Anyway, got the door cleaned up quite a bit more. Now, really, what I want to do, I've got the bottom tacked up good as I want to right now. I want to have the door on the car to make sure things are going to be copacetic. Is that really a word? I'm not sure. Dictionary. Anyhow, I need to get the door on the car for that reason. Another thing, I got to put the front seat in the car. So I've cleaned tools out, get the front seat in the car. I've got a bit of a gathering tomorrow here in the shop barn. I need to be able to get that 327 small block Chevrolet from 1967-8 out of there so that I can get it to the machine shop, because I want this paint ready by springtime. And before I put the motor in it and run it and all that, firewall needs painted. So that's kind of my plan. So they're going to be a couple, 3 months anyway with that block, I'm going to assume, from what I hear. So I'd rather them store it for a couple months than me. So it's fine. But I've got to move all this and drag that seat out, get it up in there, and I'll show you that. You're gonna see it. You'll see the interior color, like or leave it. Next day, okay, door's on, looks fair. Need a little fixing there. I think as far as the door thickness is correct. The whole door needs to go up, needs more adjusting. No sense in doing too much of that. I just, you know, it kind of is what it is. Just close enough to work. Of course, you can see the gaps bigger here, smaller here, so it all needs kind of, I'm a little bit worried about that, but I think it'll even out. And at the end of the day, if we get the door where we like it, and this is a little gappy, we'll just zip, tappy, weld it back up. You know, it's not far-fetched for any of that going to be going on with this project. So I think now we'll get the door off so that I can finish welding, fixing the bottom up, things like that, and go ahead and come up with a patch for this. This is pretty pitiful. I would say pitiful is pretty good. There's also a big dent down here that I probably should have gotten out, so we might something with that. Update time, just checking in. You guys fell asleep by now. I'm about there. Man, definitely not my finest hour. It's getting welded up. It'll look better when I grind it down. Pour 15 inside, outside, and seam seal it. It'll be fine. You know, unless the whole bottom of it just falls off from the heat. So there's a big brace inside here. Spot welds a couple places here, kind of just like this. So now I'm going to cut here, around here somewhere, clean that brace off, cut me another piece of metal, hopefully, and weld that in. My eyes are messed up. You know, welding's hard on you. Then I still have about 2 hours of grinding to do. That's no fun either. Oh, we're not epoxy priming this thing tonight. It's not happening. This is just plumb wore me out. So here's what I got. Got this cut out. Got this made. There's spot welds down through here, so that'll go right in place of it. Seam welded all the way around. Spot welded right down there. And of course I clean up, you know, and there's... And you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. Somebody probably will. Once we pour 15 this really good, soak it all down once the rest of the body work's done, and seam seal that, we're gonna seam seal our welds anyway, right? This car had about 3 gallons of seam sealer put on it from the factory to big old gaps, things like this. They filled that up when it was original. This, all the way, you know, what's the difference? Now I think it's gonna be a structural thing, so I'm gonna go for it, right? These doors are gonna be holy as holy can get. Get it? I'm a little slap happy from all the welding and grinding. Is my face dirty? Good, I was afraid I had dirt on me or something. Well, far from perfect. Perfect from afar. Looks like a great door when you're standing about here. And actually, really, this turned out way better than I thought it would. This is the business end. Doors open, you're gonna see it. So just a little bit of kitty hair or some seam sealer. You know, I did burn through on this corner. I do believe I'm gonna have to add, because I forgot, this radius on a 4-door is different than a 2-door. Don't know why, but it is. That's why it looked funny over there. So we're gonna be touching that up when we go through our body working phase. But the door is quite a bit better than it was, right? And this, of course, this is the door jamb. You're never gonna see it. You just want it to be solid, you know. And inside, behind here and behind here, where that big brace is, cleaned the rust off, soaked it down with some of that. Thanks again, Rick Martin from Ohio. And then sprayed some weld through primer in there. Scratched out my spot weld holes, welded up, same deal, you know. Yeah, we this was the battle. Doors are just no fun, really. Doors are a lot of work because of this kind of thing. But that turned out pretty good. I'm optimistically pleased with it, if that makes any sense. Oh, and I want you guys to go check out a channel, Rick's Old Car Garage. Good fella. And I'm gonna tell you something. I saw a couple of his videos. We've chatted back and forth in comments here and there, and I never realized he's in a wheelchair. So if he goes out there, works on his old Edsel, he's got a shop, works on old cars, goes outside, takes parts off of stuff, I know you can, you know. And it really made me smile that he does that. I thought that was really neat, and I thought, man, if I was like that, anything I could do to get out here and mess with these old junker turds, you know, it's just a lot of fun. It does a lot of good for me, really. And Rick he chipped in on the project and tossed a couple bucks in the tip jar there. I want to thank him, and go check him out, Rick's Old Car Garage. I'll tag him down in the description down there if you want to check him out. Really nice guy. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys, all the super chat, thanks, gift things, and the tip jar there. The link's down in the description too. If you decide you want to join in, you definitely don't have to. I do this free of charge. It's not free to me, but it's nothing's gonna stop me from doing it. So, but all right, there you go. Let me get this door on real quick, see what it looks like. Well, this door, it's in at the bottom, out at the top. See, it's a little bit out in there. So what I've got to do is I think we're going to be good here. If I take this bottom hinge out, wall those holes out so the bottom of that door can come out. You see, there's the rocker. You know, of course, this door isn't exactly factory anymore, but you know, we'll get it. We'll get it. I think we had to twist the other one to make it fit, so who knows? Anyways, I gotta put all the toys away, bring the green bean racing machine back in because it's sprinkling, so I gotta get going. I sure appreciate you guys hanging out with me this week. It's been kind of a battle the last couple videos, but we're getting there, right? And I think that possibly next week we're gonna fix this rear cowl, and we'll probably measure and stuff like before I cut it apart and make sure the back glass is gonna fit. Hey, appreciate you guys. Man, it means the world to me that you're watching and sharing and commenting. We'll see you next week. Cheers.